I'm Barbara Roden. I'm the editor of the Ashcroft-Cache Creek Journal newspaper, and I am the mayor of the village of Ashcroft. One of the things I love on Knowledge Network is the interstitials that come up between shows from all over BC. And there's one of Ashcroft and Grad Hill, which I always grin like a fool when that one comes up. I love the one of the Cisco rail bridges in the Fraser Canyon. It's an area I've written about a lot. But I also love seeing the ones from places where I am never going to go, have never seen. Every time I see that one from Atlin, I think, that looks wonderful. I'd love to get there. It's just giving me those little 10, 15-second glimpses of other parts of this beautiful province. It just makes me very happy. Knowledge really is a box of delights. You never know what you're going to pull out. Supporting Knowledge Network is such a small investment to make so that other people can enjoy something that I'm enjoying.
What's the best way to feed a hungry mind? A Luna Chip and Inky lunch kit, of course. This insulated Knowledge Kids lunch bag comes complete with a matching water bottle, cutlery, and food container, all BPA-free. Easy to clean and easy to carry. It's yours with a $175 donation. Maggie from Surrey writes, Dear Knowledge, it goes without saying that you bring us the finest television viewing in the BC media environment and beyond. I love the way each season follows a theme. And yes, we enjoy every moment reading the Knowledge magazine. Thank you. Thanks, Maggie. There's nothing we love more than hearing from partners like you.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Take a deep dive into some of the most remote and beautiful parts of our blue planet.
We have some very, very clean water here because our nearest landmass is probably 700 miles away. Pristine waters, lots of fish life, and usually not too many divers.
But hold your breath, because you'll be coming closer to some of the undersea world's most thrilling creatures than you have ever been before.
Essentially, you're in their territory, you're in their domain.
It's an unspoiled look at the great blue wild, virtually unseen until now, but yours to enjoy commercial-free, thanks to the support of our Knowledge partners.
I saw what looked like a high school gymnasium size school of trevally jacks. I mean, it took my breath away.
There are two kinds of Knowledge Network viewers, those who are partners now and those who will be partners one day. Why not let today be your day? These famous rivers aren't just good scenery.
This river was used for hundreds of years for transporting goods up and down by wherry.
They're cultural highways, shaping and sustaining civilizations throughout history.
I can say that the Guadalquivir River is the reason of our life.
From serene springs to primordial swamps, go with the flow on the world's most scenic river journeys, tonight at 7.
River is life, water is life, and without water, there's no life.
Akong dagan bigat. Wal na kamangara parmangin picinda langa lorkon kan.
For millennia, indigenous people have been telling stories of this land and its creatures. It is a place where nature plays by its own rules. Agile crocodiles leap out of rivers. Birds drum to their own beat. And spiders breathe underwater. What you expect is not what you get in this magical land of Oz. Sunday at 7 on Knowledge.
A flood makes its way towards the plain. For a creature that lives underground, this could spell disaster. But she's no ordinary tarantula. She won't flee her burrow. This spider has evolved to cope with flood. She has her own silvery life support system. Her hairy coat traps air bubbles, providing the perfect backup air supply as she breathes through holes in her abdomen. Like a cosmonaut in space, she has created her own atmosphere. Her discovery is so recent, she has no official name. She's simply referred to as the diving tarantula, a truly unique Australian phenomenon.
I'm going to take you on a journey back to the beginning, the art and soul of black music in Canada. Let's get into this, man.
Moving to Vancouver was kind of like its own culture shock in a way.
Our history has been whitewashed.
It's like an erasure.
The city carried out a process. They didn't want a black community.
This is my grandfather, Juan de Jesus.
These incredible reflections of how people felt about themselves. They're not asking you who they are. They're telling you who they are.
The story of the Negro in America is the story of America. It is not a pretty story.
My father always said this: tell the truth and shame the devil.
I couldn't believe how quickly my lovely city, Belfast, became divided.
I really looked up to them, like heroes to me.
What did you think they were?
Nothing more than terrorists.
The atmosphere was so heavy. You more or less felt like a prisoner in your own home.
They weren't horrible people, they did horrible things. But why did they do those things?
Sometimes you need to stare into the abyss to realise that it just can't go on.
I want peace in our country for my grandchildren.
Once Upon a Time in Northern Ireland. A 5-part series begins Wednesday, March 5th at 9.
Peace is actually realising you still completely disagree about it, but you're not going to kill each other over it.
Peace is tough.
Heather from West Vancouver writes, Dear Knowledge, thank you for the work you do to keep us cultured and commercial free. Yay! And 3 cheers to Knowledge partners like you, Heather, for being such a vocal supporter of public television.
My name is Eduardo La Selva.
My name is Graziella La Selva. When we moved to BC from Brazil 14 years ago, Knowledge taught us so much about BC.
So we could feel more integrated with the place that we live.
And we think the importance of giving back is huge. So we became Knowledge partners to be part of this amazing community.
And help Knowledge to produce content within the community and about this community.
I know it's a little contribution, but little by little we all can make the difference. We are very proud of being Knowledge partners.
You can't put a price on knowledge. That's why you can become a partner with any size of donation. Join the Knowledge family today. The following program is brought to you by you. The following program is presented with described video.
My name's Kat, I'm a writer. I'm married to Dan. We've got a beautiful, energetic, very creative daughter named Winter. We live in the sunny Okanagan, beautiful Vernon, British Columbia. To me, knowledge means learning or experiencing something new every day. Even just the things that my daughter asks me, it makes me really contemplate them a lot more than I probably would otherwise. Lifelong learning is really important, and I think that's because you never want to feel like your brain just goes stale. I love Knowledge Network because it gives you something that you don't get from these big streaming services. You leave feeling something and you leave learning something. You don't leave feeling like you've wasted your time. And I think it's important to give back just to share your appreciation for things that you love.
In case of emergency, just reach for this rechargeable portable radio flashlight. Charge your phone. Listen to the radio or weather reports. Signal for help or light up the night. When it's time to recharge, just plug it in. Crank it up or let the sun do the work for you. It's yours with a $300 donation. Patricia and David from Creston write, Dear Knowledge, we can't say enough about how great Knowledge Network is, and finding other devotees of Knowledge Network creates an instant bond. Quality, diversity, entertainment, and in-depth documentaries are exceptional. Thank you so much for being a huge part of our lives. And thank you, Patricia and David, for playing your part in supporting public television in British Columbia.
Escape with us on an epic train voyage.
Sometimes the road to adventure isn't a road. Welcome aboard the world's most scenic railway journeys.
The bells are going, there she comes.
Whether it's spiraling up the Swiss Alps,
I love to be here,
hugging the coast of Galicia in Spain,
It's very, very special.
traveling along Mexico's Great Copper Canyon,
Holy cow, look at that.
or crossing the Continental Divide on BC's world-famous Rocky Mountaineer.
This is our office. If I ever grow tired of the scenery, I have bigger problems than being tired of the scenery.
Railways take you to the places where roads can't go.
This must be one of the greatest railway journeys anywhere.
Narrated by actor Bill Nye, the world's most scenic railway journeys comes to you thanks to our knowledge partners, whose generous donations are the engine that drives our network forward.
The passengers on our train can experience that thrill for themselves.
Be kind, be calm, become a knowledge partner, and keep your screen safe from commercial interruptions.
In the directory, it details the opening of the church in 1854. Of course, 1854 is the date on our painting. It also mentions a rather intriguing name, a Mrs. Colonel Hutchison.
Knowledge Network offers expert points of view.
The place I found more information about George Hutchison is here, the Centre for the Study of the Legacies of British Slavery. So Isabella got some of her money from him. The money came from a very dark place, and she used some of it for the Catholic Church, and this convent in particular.
Knowledge always gives you something to think about.
I have crossed the Atlantic to ride the railroads of North America with my faithful Appleton's Guide.
Michael Portillo travels around Canada and Alaska on trains both large and small.
Vancouver's SkyTrain is quite a recent phenomenon. The cycle path runs along the sea wall, so you have views of the ocean all the way. My first moments in Alaska have been full of cultural surprises. What a delicious sight you all are. Do you have an ability level Z? I I'm on my way to Victoria, the capital of British Columbia. Here, the remnant of the railway is the Empress Hotel.
Great Alaskan and Canadian Railway Journeys begins Thursday, March 6th at 8.
Welcome on board.
Has Oxford changed much since you've been away?
It changed before I went.
Inspector Morse is gone, but the murders in Oxford continue.
15 years investigating with crossword fanatic. Surprising what you pick up.
Lewis is now an inspector with a sergeant of his own.
Never ordered a taxi.
Oh, you're in luck then, sir, 'cause I'm not one. DS James Hathaway.
Solving crimes is more than a full-time job.
Give us a call. I'd like you to.
So don't miss a clue. Get the whole story from the start.
Someone tried to incriminate him.
Well, that's what he wants us to think.
Lewis, every Friday at 8.
You're supposed to drag Lewis out of the Dark Ages, not join him there.
My father always said to us, tell the truth and shame the devil.
I couldn't believe how quickly my lovely city, Belfast, became divided.
I really looked up to him. They were like heroes to me.
What did you think they were? Nothing more than terrorists.
The atmosphere was so heavy.
You more or less felt like a prisoner in your own home.
They weren't horrible people. They did horrible things. But why did they do those things?
Sometimes you need to stare into the abyss to realise that it can't go on.
I want peace in our country for my grandchildren.
Once Upon a Time in Northern Ireland. A 5-part series begins Wednesday, March 5th at 9.
Peace is actually realising you still completely disagree about it, but you're not going to kill each other over it.
Peace is tough.
I'm going to take you on a journey back to the beginning, the art and soul of black music in Canada. Let's get into this, Nan.
Moving to Vancouver was kind of like its own culture shock in a way.
Our history has been whitewashed.
It's like an erasure.
The city carried out a process. They didn't want a black community.
This is my grandfather, Juan de Jesus.
These incredible reflections of how people felt about themselves. They're not asking you who they are. They're telling you who they are.
The story of the Negro in America is the story of America. It is not a pretty story.
A Chinese town haunted by a 20-year-old murder. A community forced to cope with the closing of its factory. And a driver who will risk everything to rebuild his life. Time can be our greatest foe. And our strongest ally.
咱们练的就是眼观六路，耳听八方，胆大心细，遇事不慌。我们警察在这天天胡练练的，我们讲的都是证据，不是在这想象。
The Long Season, tonight at 10.
你放心，这回吧，肯定给你个交代。
Diane from Qualicum Beach writes, Dear Knowledge, I was an avid watcher of Knowledge Network in the past. However, in the last 5 years, I've lived in remote locations and didn't have standard television. My husband and I recently rediscovered Knowledge Network through our smart TV. Your programming is amazing. I think many more need to know about what you're doing. It makes our day to discover knowledge supporters like you, Diane. Thanks for helping us bring our programs to every part of British Columbia.
What does knowledge mean to me? I don't know, I've been thinking about this actually quite recently. Knowledge is filling in the blanks. It's just making yourself, your life, fuller. Knowledge Network is giving you answers, but in an entertaining way. So you can sit back and just enjoy an evening of learning things. Do you value this service? And if the answer is yes, then you do what you can to support it.
This is the land of our ancestors. This water, these plants and trees are medicine.
When two worlds meet, the result can border on the unpredictable.
An ordinary-looking fish, but with a jaw-dropping skill.
Knowledge Nature programs explore the jagged and sometimes volatile boundary between wilderness and civilization.
The researchers hope to be the first scientists to tag a sperm whale calf with a radio transmitter.
Okay, tag's going up.
I'm traveling around the most exciting continent on the planet.
They're still very vulnerable, but they are showing signs of recovery, which is encouraging.
People who meet the river in a kayak will always see the river differently.
And they're brought to you thanks to the continuing support of our knowledge partners. Donate today at knowledge.ca.
You can't beat this office to work in.
Knowledge Network always leaves you with something to think about. So here's a thought for you. Why not become a knowledge partner? This program is here for you because you're here for us. Thanks to our knowledge partners for making this program possible. The following program deals with mature subject matter and is intended for adult audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. As fans of Knowledge's British mysteries know all too well, a picturesque English village is rarely as idyllic as it seems. Behind every charming cottage and friendly villager lurks the distinct possibility of murder. Before you set foot in one of these deceptively pleasant hamlets, arm yourself with your guide to not getting murdered in a quaint English village. With tongue firmly in cheek, this cleverly written book is packed with valuable insights and advice to help you avoid meeting your untimely end in a typical British murder mystery village. A donation of $150 will bring this must-have guide to you and peace of mind for your next visit to the English countryside. The following program is brought to you by you.
If I was on a desert island, I would pick Knowledge Network as my one and only channel. I just feel so connected to it. I feel that Knowledge Network is showing programs that have a lot more heart and soul. And that's important for me to support that.
Some knowledge partners let their love of public broadcasting go to their heads. That's because with a $125 donation, we'll send you this one-of-a-kind Knowledge Partners toque with a built-in LED headlamp, perfect for camping or a late walk. The light pops out for easy cleaning, and it's USB rechargeable, so you'll never be left in the dark with dead batteries again. Be a shining example of what it means to support public television and become a Knowledge Partner today. Patricia from Victoria writes, Dear Knowledge, you're a beacon of hope in this wasteland of mediocre television. Thank you for expanding my mind and horizons with your wonderful programs. Thanks, Patricia. Letters like yours really light up our day. If you want to change the way you see the world, start by changing the way you look at it. Using aerial cinematography, the filmmakers behind Undiscovered Vistas give a new perspective on some of the most stunning landscapes on Earth. From the geographic diversity of Gross Mourne in Newfoundland to Bolivia's surreal Salar de Uyuni salt flats. Thanks to our knowledge partners for once again helping us change the way we look at television.
best way you can learn and the least painful way you can learn is by hearing stories. And I think knowledge is a very storied place. And the stories that are presented on Knowledge are incredible. We have wonderful hosts all around the world telling stories. We have brilliant filmmakers shooting their point of view documentaries that get us thinking about what's going on in the rest of the world. I also am grateful for the documentaries that are created here in British Columbia for blazing a trail in that sense. The profiles that have been done with people and in issues that I'm very interested in Indigenous culture, also mental health. I'm really appreciative of the breaking down of barriers that Knowledge Network does and has done, and I know will continue to do. Well, I think when you give back, you're actually giving to yourself. I remember that old expression, if it feels good, do it. Well, it does feel good, so we should do it. Thomas King said, the truth about stories is that's all we are. And this is a great venue and a great network for wonderful stories.
If you're a fan of great sound and great public television, this Knowledge Partners Bluetooth speaker will be music to your ears. Simply pair it with any Bluetooth device to instantly enjoy rich, high-definition wireless sound, while proudly showing your support for Knowledge. It also features a built-in microphone for crystal-clear phone calls, and with its compact, water-resistant design and rechargeable battery life of over 4 hours, you can take it with you anywhere you go. It's our gift to you with a $150 donation. If you believe in knowledge, listen to your heart and become a partner today. Carol from Vancouver writes, Dear Knowledge, I love your magazine. It allows me to plan my TV time so well. I love how the first part gives the big picture of upcoming new programs, and the calendar gives enough information to make sure I don't miss anything. Thank you. From all of us at Knowledge, thank you too, Carol. While hunting down a scammer, taxi driver Wang Sha stumbles onto a new lead in an unsolved murder that has haunted him and his community for decades. Set in a Chinese town devastated by the collapse of its steel plant, the long season dramatically shifts between the past and present lives of its working-class residents, as Wang's renewed search for the truth unearths their darkest secrets. This award-winning series was a massive hit across Asia, and it comes to you thanks to our Knowledge partners who know that a little generosity goes a long way in bringing great international dramas to your screen, completely commercial-free.
你放心，这回吧，肯定给你个交代。
For all the BC stories that Knowledge brings to you, all we ask in return is your support. Become a Knowledge partner today. The following program is presented with described video. This program is here for you because you're here for us. Thanks to our Knowledge partners for making this program possible. The following program deals with mature subject matter and is intended for adult audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.